Rise of Nations. This is Zanriel, and I'm here to show you this Rise of Nations game. It came out a little while ago on Steam, and it's kind of an updated version, so it's got widescreen support and everything like that. You can see the 2014. Right now I'm just going to show you the solo game. Well, let me go back. Actually, I'm going to show you the Conquer the World campaign. This is one of my favorite ways to play, but it's been a while since I've played it, so I can't really talk about it too much, because right now in my game here I'm sort of stuck. I don't really know what to do, because I'm not much of a warmonger, but I guess that's, you know, kind of what you do. Right now I'm at war with the Russians. They're divided up. They've got 2 territories left. I've already conquered most of their territories. These are your armies. You can move them around like pieces on a chessboard. I've got 2 of them. One of them is over here, and what we have over here in America are the Lakota tribe. And I just, you know, I like Indians and I don't want to hurt them. Mongols are kind of jerks, so I don't really like them. So I'll probably go after them. So what you do is, you've got these bonus cards, which I don't have any of them right now. But when you get them, you can play them, and they give you little bonuses when you start out. You've also got a diplomacy thing, and with that you can click on a nation's capital and enter arrangements with them. You can trade resources, lands, things like that. So right here, if I move this into this territory, they're currently at peace, but it will give me, oh, I don't have enough tribute to declare war. So I'm just going to go ahead and wipe out the Russians. And it's going to complain that it's rather difficult, but I've got it on easiest, just because I'm still kind of learning the game. So here's the military, and you can click this to find the next military unit, click this to find the next general. You can click the dot to find your next idle peasant. It controls a lot like Age of Empires. One thing I like about it is when you select a box, it'll only grab the military units by default if they're in that group. This guy here is a scout. You can set him to auto scout, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't usually like to micromanage these types of games, which is probably why I'll never be a hardcore competitive player. I just like to play it for fun. I usually like to play co-op on these games with friends against the computer. I don't think it's been since the 90s since I played any of these games competitively. So this is my woodcutters camp, and I have 3 available slots for woodcutters. So I'm going to go ahead and send my peasants over there until it gets full. You can use shift click to queue up units quickly, which is pretty cool. You can queue up 5 at a time. Go ahead and put that there. And this is where you do your research. Each type of research gives you new technologies, and you have to get up to a certain level to unlock the next age. Now in the Conquer the World campaign, the whole world goes into ages, so I won't necessarily be able to unlock the gunpowder age, for example. I don't have all the shortcuts memorized, but BF is farms, so I'm going to plop a farm down there. I'm going to go ahead and research what I can. And pop out one more peasant. You can see here how fast you're gaining resources. This one's really cool. This is by the same people that made Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, Age of Empires 2. It's got a lot of similar mechanics, but it starts out from kind of the like early, oh, what do you call it, like nomad ages. You know, it's almost just a step above caveman, and it goes all the way up to modern times with stealth fighters and tanks and artillery and space age stuff. It's just awesome. I really love this game. It also controls a little bit like, it kind of reminds me of Civilization, the way the technologies work. You've got military tech, which gives you, of course, as you can guess, it gives you different military units. Civic, which allows you to increase the number of cities you have. And the way this game works is you've got this territory border right here, and you're constantly trying to expand your border, but that also gives you more area that you have to protect. So it gets pretty fiddly later on if you start expanding a lot. Anyway, and then you've got commerce, which lets you create trade routes between your towns, and it also increases the rate that you gain gold. And science, which usually gives you some of your upgrades, like better farming, better wood cutting, stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and build another woodcutter up here. And you can only have 5 farms per city, so that's why you pretty much have to build additional cities. Also, you can set this in the option, but when you create citizens, as they call them, they'll automatically go and look for work, which is pretty cool. I'm going to make a mine up here. I'm going to need some of that stuff pretty soon. And right now the only military building I can make is barracks and stable. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Get a barracks going. I like to put them kind of out where I think I'm going to be getting attacked from. So I'm going to put it out there. Go ahead and research a little more stuff. Here's where I screw up, because if you're really good at games like this, you never get to a point where you're waiting for anything, because you just constantly have to stay busy. And I'm just not very good at managing resource income. You get better at it with practice. I know with Age of Empires and Age of Mythology, if I play those a lot, I kind of get used to the rhythm and the flow, and I can get to where I'm more efficient. So I'm popping out units. You know, my resources are coming in at a predictable rate, and I can make sure I know what I'm building next and all that kind of stuff. But I haven't played this game in a while, so I'm a little out of practice with it. I know that I'm going to need some more civic type buildings pretty soon. Like, you can get a granary that increases your farm output. You can get some type of lumber mill or something that increases your wood cutting. Let me see what we've got here. So we can do a granary. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it doesn't matter where you put it. It just has to be within this circle. But it also automatically builds roads around things. So I like to keep a little gap between buildings to make sure that those roads are able to pop up where they need to be. And all that does is just it increases the speed that your units go when they're on the roads. And dot for idle peasant, just like all their other games. We'll go ahead and build a siege factory up here. And dot, and we'll go ahead and build we can build a fortress, but we don't have enough wealth. And we don't have enough wealth for a keep, which is basically like a guard tower. So I really need wealth, and one way to get wealth is to build a temple. For some reason those religious types tend to generate money. Don't know why. You can set rally points. Just click on a building and right click where you want the rally point to go. We could go ahead and build some more of these, but right now I just need stuff. I just need stuff. I'm going to build another couple peasants. Oh yeah, so to increase your population limit, you increase military. Alright, we got some peasants. Let's build some more stuff that's going to improve our resource production. I'll go ahead and build one of these. And a lumber mill. I don't have a smelting thing yet because I need more science, so we'll build a senate. We also need some type of school. It's scholars. And this increases your knowledge production. Knowledge is a currency that you use to research upgrades. Almost all of these require knowledge, and as you get up into these tiers, you need a lot of knowledge. So you're going to have multiple towns that are producing knowledge. I just went ahead and got a market started, and now I'm building another town, another city, and I'm going to put it right here. No, let's look around a little bit. Let's put it over here. It's right near some resources. We got whatever that iron, is that what that is? Metal, and some wood, so that's good. We'll put it there. And we still don't have nearly as much wealth as we need. I'm going to go ahead and research Republic. I'm going to go in here and get taxation and religion. That should help my income a little bit. I'm going to bring these spare peasants I have over to help out with this city. Dot dot. You can hit dot dot and it selects all your idle peasants. Isn't that cool? You can also select your army, hit Control 1, and create a division or a platoon or whatever. And I'm going to put them out here just so they can defend. And this is a senator guy, and he does some buffs and things. He can wreak havoc and give bonuses to your troops and stuff. Now I can make a merchant, and what these guys do is they build shops around these resources out here. These flashing purple dots on your mini-map are resources that merchants can exploit. So in that way, it's a little bit like a 4X game because you're exploiting. And I'm going to go ahead and get all these farms started. Leave a little gap for a road. There we go. And shift click to get a bunch of peasants created. I'm still doing pretty good on the population. Science level 3. Don't have enough wealth for anything. But now that I have another town, I can build a caravan and start getting wealth that way. Lumber camp. There's a good place. So what you're looking at there is for metal. What you're looking at there is it shows how many citizens will be available to harvest that resource, depending on how large the area is and where you put the building in its sphere of influence. Pretty cool. And now here's one thing that I'm not really sure about. I don't know if you have to have a merchant or a market for every town, but it generates wealth just for being there, so it doesn't hurt to go ahead and have one. And see my citizens just going out there and finding work to do. It's also interesting on this game, you don't build houses, you just upgrade this stuff. Let's go ahead and get our science. There we go. And that, because we don't need wealth for that. Now this thing here is what generates your knowledge, but you have to have these scholars, and they cost well to make. But I'll go ahead and put a few of them out there. This is going to increase my food output. Spend them resources. I'm just about ready to start going after some of these towns that need to be harassed. I'm going to build a castle out here. This also expands your national borders, and it provides defense, and it generates military units. This thing right here is a supply wagon. Your army will take slow damage as they go through the enemy territory unless you have a supply wagon. It's called attrition, I think. And you've got your A for attack move. So I'm going to attack move out to here. See what they find. I've got it on easiest anyway, so there shouldn't be much of a challenge. But you never know, could be surprising. Now our resources are coming in pretty quick. We can't upgrade these units until we get to the gunpowder age, and I need 450 knowledge to do that, but I need more scholars. So I'm going to go ahead and build the rest of them. I'm also going to get that to increase knowledge production, get that to get more wealth, more wood, more food, all kinds of stuff. They're putting up a little bit of a fight. I could be playing a little smarter, being a little more selective about how I launch these attacks, but control click lets you select multiple buildings. You can even group buildings, which I've done before. Like if you have several barracks and several stables, you can group them all, and when you queue up enemy or units to create, it'll automatically get them from all the buildings, which is pretty cool. So I've set my rally point out to the enemy town. Let's go. Get him. Get him. Get on in there. When you destroy an enemy city like this, you don't actually destroy it. It stays there. You just capture it. And that's kind of neat, because it saves you from having to build one. But there's a timer. You have to wait until the timer runs out before you actually own it. I'll go ahead and put some of these guys on. But put military on the defense and the defensive units. I'm just kind of doing the death by 1,000 cuts tactic, which would get me killed in multiplayer, but I don't care. Get some more knights, horse archers. Looks like we've got them. He's an idle peasant. I'm going to go ahead and build a couple more military units. There we go. Now I'm assimilating it. Once it's assimilated, I'll also own the buildings around it. Gunpowder Age. Now we're really going to dominate. I can build another caravan. Caravans are pretty cool because they'll automatically establish trade routes. There we go. We got it. Now we can take some of these peasants here, and they're automatically going to start finding work, but I'm going to put this one on repairs, and I'm going to use this one to make a tower. And look at all those resources. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my barracks to control 3, my stables to control 4, and my siege to control 5. Now if I hit 3, I can just quickly start popping these out. And I would rather have that bombard, so I'm going to go ahead and see what I need to get the next level of military. And I have it. So I'm going to get that. When you upgrade units at your barracks, it automatically upgrades all the ones on the field, so you don't have to go around and click each one or wait till they die, which is kind of nice. Once I have a sizable army, I'm going to start going after the next town. There are only 4 farms here, so we could use another peasant. Citizen. They're not citizens, they haven't served in the military. I just watched Starship Troopers. Haven't seen it in a while. Alright, let's go. It's good enough. Get him! Boy, my army just kind of took a dive really quick. I'm going to go ahead and put some more military creating units up here a little bit closer to the front lines. So so my army doesn't take as long to get out there. Is this V? No. Y. S. Y. O. Oh, random letters for things. Some of them make sense, but for siege units? I don't know. You gain wealth just by destroying enemy units. Moscow is ours. I repeat, Moscow is ours. Alright, that's it. And we can look at the game stats. You can see how we did. Overwhelming, dominating victory. We've also got the graphs. See, they beat us. No, we beat them. To that. I love all these stats. If you're kind of a geek and you like looking at numbers and stuff, it's fun. So then we just do that, and what we get? We got a bonus card. And now we own that, and we've conquered the Russians. We have 120. Now we own this, see? We're kind of isolated. But, and here's the world events. These are all the things that other countries have done. We can do this to upgrade territory strength, which would probably be a good idea for that one since it's isolated. And for this one since we just captured it. So in that way it's a little bit like risk. And I'm not really sure what currency it uses for that when you do that, or what the limit is. Oh look, somebody's attacking me. Is that right? Okay. So there's the Conquer the World campaign, and as you can see it could go for quite a while, especially if you were playing it on a higher difficulty. You could really spend several hours just taking one territory after another. I haven't really experimented a whole lot with alliances. I kind of messed around with it once, and I had to trade a territory for it, and I didn't like that. So probably won't be doing that a whole lot, but who knows? And that's Rise of Nations. It's a cool game. I like it.